Morning class. Today we're going to go over breaking down our STAAR chart. I want you guys to use this when you take your test, and so we're going to break it down together today, but over the next 15 class days you're going to rewrite. So make sure you get a good copy of this today and you get all the notes down, because each day you're going to just practice writing in it. If you continue to write it in, your mind will memorize it more easily, and you'll be able to use this effectively when you take your test. Alright, so let's start out from the top. Here's your rules on perfect square trinomials. If you have any number plus a number squared, you're going to have a middle term. Any number minus a number squared, you'll have a middle term as well. Now, if you see something like this, you're going to have no term in the middle. You're just going to have the a squared and the minus b squared. This is the difference of squares, which is right there. Not a whole lot to check, but remember, if you just see two terms, like in the difference of squares, you want to check if they have a perfect square root. Like a squared is always going to be square root, which is a, b squared is always going to be square root, which is just b. Now, whenever you use any of your exponent rules, whether you use a product rule where you add the exponents, quotient rule where you subtract the exponents, power rule where you multiply the exponents, or when you have a fraction or a negative, all of these, remember, you have to have the same base. So, if you have like 3 to the 6th times 4 to the 7th, 3 and 4 are not the same, because you cannot use your exponent rule. They have to be like 3 to the 5th times 3 to the 4th, and then you can use the product rule. 5 plus 4 is 9, so 3 to the 9th. Alright, now let's get down to linear equations. First off, standard form. You can easily change it into slope-intercept form using two steps. First step, move the x. Second step, divide by y. Anytime you need it to go from this form to this form, move your x, divide by y. Now, your slope-intercept form. Remember, the m, this is our slope. Sorry, my pen's going out of ink there. There we go. And your b is your y-intercept. As a reminder, on every coordinate grid, the line that goes up and down separating the grid in half, that is your y-axis. The one going left and right is your x-axis. I know some of these may seem redundant, but I want you to write them down anyways, just so you have that extra bit of practice. Point slope form. Okay, so standard form, you use it when you have two different terms. Slope-intercept form, you use it when you have a slope, an m, and when you have a b. Point slope form, you're going to use it when you have a point and a slope. Your point is always going to be your x1, y1, and your slope is always going to be your m. So remember, your x1, y1 is going to get plugged in right here. The y goes there. X goes all the way over there. And your m is your slope, and it goes right there. Now, slope of a line. Slope sometimes is called constant rate of change. It is your rise over your run. It can always be in fraction form. Remember, rise goes up or down, run goes left or right. Sometimes they use the formula delta y over delta x, but all that means is you subtract your y's, you subtract your x's, you put them over each other. Make sure you take your points. You're going to have 2 points to use this slope formula. Your x1, y1 is your first point, and your next point is your x2, y2. And you plug them in just like so. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Then simplify that fraction. And then with slope, remember, when it's increasing, it's a positive slope. When it's decreasing left to right, that's a negative slope. If it goes straight up and down, this is undefined. And if it goes left to right, it is a slope of 0. Now, whenever they write the equations, the undefined slopes will always say x equals some number. The 0 slopes will always say y equals some number. I'm going to pause the video here. We'll continue on the next video.